Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have a fun card to share with you today. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's Gnome Dies Smore add-ons, their No Malicious birthday stamp set, their Gnome Dies, their Gnome Dies coffee add-ons, and their Smore stencil. And I already have the marshmallow applied to this craft cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. And I used the Snow Day deck from Deco Foil and along with their Transfer Gel Duo to do that. There we go. And then I put that together on the release or on the Gnome assembly for the coffee add-on. So check that out. Okay, so I'll be using the P13 Stamping Pad Skin Toads, Doodlebugs Candy Stripe and Sprinkles, and Doodlebugs Plaid Polka Dot. So first I have the first layer. This is going to be the chocolate layer. And I make a mistake on this, but I left it in. So I'm just lining it up. And I'm going to be using some Distress Oxide ink in Walnut Stain. There we go. And I'm going to quickly apply all of this. There we go. And that's actually the color that I meant to use. I don't know why I thought I made a mistake at this level. I don't know. Leanne's losing it. Okay, so I'm just applying the chocolate layer. I'm just using one of these sponge daubers to get it in there. I'm sort of tamping and twisting to kind of fill it in. If you got a really juicy ink pad, you don't want to press too hard because the ink can get underneath the stencil. So you just want to be, put enough on, but not too much, if that's clear. So I'm just adding that on. I love this Smore stencil. I just think it is so adorable. And especially when you use that Deco Foil for the white layer, it just looks fabulous, just like marshmallow. So there we go. And isn't that cute? Super cute stuff, right? Next, I'm going to add on my little graham wafers. You'll notice that I'm working on a Stampin' Up pad. Sometimes I pull out my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, but not all the time. Okay, next I'm going to be adding in some gathered twigs for these, graham wafer layers. There we go, just lightly tapping. There you have it. So easy stuff. And, not that difficult. So there we are. So we got the gathered twigs. And next we're going to put together a few items that I cut out. So I'm going to put together this little s'more first. And I cut that out of Paper Tray Ink white cardstock, Recollections craft cardstock. That's these here. Using my Barely Art glue. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Mini Empress machine, as per usual. Working on a Stampin' Up pad, like I said, Barely Art glue, reverse tweezers. This is dark chocolate cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and the white is Paper Tray Ink white cardstock. So I'm going to put together the marshmallow here. So these two layers were cut from Paper Tray Ink white cardstock, and I'm just sort of lining things up, and I realize, oop, goes the other way. There we go. I cut out 2 sticks out of that same Paper Tray Ink, or out of dark chocolate cardstock. I'm also going to put together the little fire. That is dark chocolate cardstock. Then this next layer is bright buttercup. And then the top layer is canyon clay. So it's just a little fire. There we go. And then I use the little marshmallow sticks as sticks, but I'm using them on my bigger items. So I'm sort of dressing up this cup of coffee with all sorts of fun things. So I'm going to add a chocolate layer to his hat. That's dark chocolate cardstock. And that's from the biggest S'more from the Gnome Dies S'more add-ons. Next, I'm going to add this big marshmallow on the stick. And these are going to be used to sort of place like they're sticking out of the fancy drink. Sort of like how you've got those really fancy milkshakes that you can get. But I'm doing it with this, I don't know, cup of cocoa, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just sort of layering them up, and then I will add these to my cup to kind of embellish the whole look. So I'm going to add my little fire to the front of my mug. Isn't that cute? His little beard was cut out of that same dark chocolate cardstock. I did use close to my heart white pigment ink. It's called White Daisy. You can use any white pigment ink just to edge around the beard. Next, I'm going to cut a piece of paper tray ink dark chocolate cardstock, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches to make a A2 size top folding card. Using my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder to do that. There we go. And using that Teflon bone folder just to make sure it's folded well. Next, I'm going to cut my little background that I created, and I'm going to cut that 1/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 size card front. So I'm just trying to line things up because I'm going to use the leftover on the inside of the card. There we go. And I will add that to my card front with some ATG tape, just to make things easy. And there we go, we'll line that up. I do stand up when I do this part just so I can sort of get a bird's eye view. There we go. And then on the inside, I'm going to add some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock cut at 4 by 5.25 inches. There we go. So it has a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. There we go. Adding that to the inside. And I'm going to add a strip of this. So I'm just going to trim it down, sort of whatever's left. And I'll add that to the bottom of my card on the inside, just for fun, with some ATG tape again. And I will line that up on the bottom of the card, sort of the same as the white liner. And then I will trim off what's hanging over the edge with a pair of scissors. So this is a really simple card because I already had the gnome put together, right? So I could just, add some stuff and be done. So on the inside, I'm going to stamp, "Have a Gnomalicious Birthday." And I'll be stamping that in that walnut stain Distress Oxide ink. That's another great thing about Distress Oxide inks. You can stamp with them because it's, they have pigment. So you get a, pretty clear stamped image. Just stamping it a few times because I'm using a Misty and you can do that. And there we go. So have a Gnomalicious Birthday. Lots of fun, right? Okay. So next we're going to get things going with this card. So I did use our scalloped oval dies and I cut out some vellum just to sort of cover up a little bit of the gnomes without covering them up completely, So I'm going to add a little bit of ATG tape to the center because the gnome will be covering that, and I'll just add that to the center of my card. Next, I'm pulling out my little my Misty again, and I'm going to use the Kawaii S'mores stamp set. And I'm going to stamp in that same walnut stain, that cute s'more in the upper right-hand corner, just for fun. Just to add something, right? I just think this is an adorable stamp set. Super fun to color too, but I'm going to leave that plain. Next, I'm going to add on this adorable marshmallow. There we go. And the cute s'more. Sort of, like I said, looking like those really fancy milkshakes with all the stuff sticking out of them. So I'm adding those. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Oh, excuse me. I'm adding a little bit of glue in between those items, and I will use my reverse tweezers just to, make sure they stick down well. There we go. Next, I'm pulling out some Copic. So this is YR04, and I'm going to add some dots, sort of like it was toasted a bit. Next is E74, and I'm going to tap some more little spots. And then this one is E19, I believe. All of them will be listed on my blog, though, so you can check that out if I don't, say it or if I say it wrong. Everything's listed correctly there. And then I think EO4 is the last one I used. Yeah, EO4. And I'll tap some of that on there. I'm just trying to make it look like it was lightly toasted along the edge. There we go. It's kind of fun. And I'm going to pop up this whole image with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Sort of cover the whole thing. And then pop that on the front of the card. And then pretty much like that's it. Like it's a super simple card design. So just adding on all of these little Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. You could use whatever foam dimension you like or whatever dimension you like. I tend to like these ones for whatever reason. I also use 3M foam tape and a bunch of others, but I have to say these Stampin' Up! Dimensionals are my favorite. So I'm just adding those all on. And I'm going to cut the edge just so I have something to go along that handle of the mug. There we go. And it will sort of bend around the edge. There we go. And I'm going to add the rest to the straw. And Bob's your uncle. I'm going to pop him on the front of the card. And isn't he cute? I just think he turned out adorable. Next, I'm going to pull out, these are some shape sprinkles from Doodlebug, and I'm just going to add some hearts. The name of them will be listed on my blog. I can't remember off the top of my head here. So I'm just adding on a few of these in teal just to match the mug. And everyone knows that teal and brown looks great together, so that's why I chose that color. There we go. And isn't that cute? I just think it turned out adorable. I'm just going to move one of those. Get them more tilted on an angle. And there we go. He's so cute. And I did add some secure white Jelly Roll pen in a number 10. So thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to check out the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired by the Team, the Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on these amazing products. And thanks as always for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Come back and watch another soon. Bye, everybody.